A few things that I might find fun. I think we're gonna do a little bit of a recap. Also, I wanted to point out this crossbow. There's something I learned about, like, with crossbows like this. I can tell you something really cool in a second. Little history, little tidbit. But first, I want to make sure. So we were having some technical difficulties, so I want to make sure it's coming through all right. Right now, the way I had to fix it, you may notice that everything freezes when I come out of the game. For some reason, half the time, it does not like the frame rate. Like, the frame rate just tanks. So this is a solution. If you guys like this solution, say something. If you don't, say something. You know what I mean? So it's a solution, you know. First, I'm going to check if it's coming through sound-wise still. Okay. Say something. Oh, yeah, it's coming through sound-wise. Okay. But, it will pause whenever whenever I look away from the thing like this. So whenever I go back in, it's going to move, and then, you know, you can continue. So if this is absolutely a terrible solution, but as you can see, frame rate's a lot better. And sometimes the frame rate would work regardless. But now, you know, for some reason today, this was the only way of getting it to actually wanting to work. But I do want to mention something really quick about this crossbow here. Funny enough, crossbows with that kind of U shape, right, weren't actually really good for bolts, for obvious reasons, being that the bolt would fall down unless it was resting on the edge, and they would have very little time resting at the back of the crossbow. You would actually, something like this kind of design was actually used to fire basically crossbow bullets. I know that sounds weird, but instead of bolts, they had like little bullets that they could fire, and it was a lot in Europe. I think it was in Europe that I think I saw. But that normally, if it had this divot down. Now, I could be wrong, so I might be able to point out that there's a specific exception occasionally. But when I was looking into it, and this is technically from, I know his name's like Jorg. I was watching one of his videos, and he's talking about history or something like that. He does like a bunch of like slingshot crossbows and stuff like that, and also talks about, but he made a crossbow, and he was actually mentioning that I think he got, like, someone had made him not made him want to, but asked him if he had made a crossbow with this design, and it just wouldn't work for bolts unless he did a flat thing. So I hope I'm saying his name right. But we're gonna continue. So that's a little history tidbit for today. Your little history tidbit. We're gonna try to continue on. Oh, also, I wanted to show you. I want to see if this still works. So this is gonna pause right there. But I want to show you what we got last time. Was this crazy thing? Let's bring that up and then show you. So I put up the achievement. Somehow, against all odds, we tumbled into apparently a very rare achievement with Kingmaker. I think that's what we called it, Kingmaker. Yeah. So, how? I literally did everything I could to try to go back to do something else. I ended up doing something which is better. Oh, now that your training, well done, Haita the Shepherd. Now that your training is completed, I want you to leave for Mataran without delays. Report to Legatus Pavola. Oh, he's just kicking us out. Okay, I never got to let that person in. News: the Imperial Guards have recognized Lord Antidus as the rightful emperor, sends ripples of shock throughout the region. In the survey, it seems like Antidus has gained battle-hardened veterans, and Carinus has gained much-needed legitimacy. Regardless of which man is actually calling the shots, the news means war, and has to be taken seriously. The Imperial Guards tighten up security in Terran, and stop short of declaring martial law. Kaer remains cautiously silent, showing their unwillingness to recognize Antidus as emperor, and leaving Carinus on his own, at least for the time being. Struggling under the burden of new taxes imposed on its operation in Terran, and the Commercium manages to retain the favor of Lord Antidus, allowing the guild to keep control over the local trade. When the Empire fell, the combined might of the 7 noble houses that survived the war was enough to keep what was left of the Imperial army in check. Since then, the Imperial Guards have grown in power, while the strength of the noble houses has diminished. The events in Terran tell Lord Galeus Under the scales, the scales have once again been tipped. House Crassus is too preoccupied with the occult and shows no interest in reality, leaving the task of reigning in the Imperial Guards to House Aurelian. Reining in the Imperial Guards to House Aurelian. Alone, he doesn't stand a chance, and good allies are in short supply these days. Neither sellswords nor Maru's fanatics can be relied on. With no other alternative, Gellius sends messengers to the Ordu. Confident that the Ordu will accept his proposal, Gellius is planning to use them as his private army, able to easily keep the Imperial Guards and everyone else at bay. All that stands between them and his dreams is the mountain range that acts as a natural border between the southern cities and the wasteland. The only pass high in the mountains is held by a small detachment of guards. The Ordu tribes are the old foe, responsible for much of the bloodshed in the past. Until the Ordu army is through the pass, ready to do his bidding, Gellius can't afford to aid them. With nothing to be done but wait, Gellius' last hope is that the Ordu won't be spotted until it's too late. He is aware of the risks associated with bringing a foreign and volatile army to Mataran, but the growing threat to the Imperial Guards leaves him no choice. Oh, it gives us a little thing. While your clever ploy has made Lord Antitus the Emperor in name only, names do have power. The recognition of Antitus' stature sets the wheels in motion, giving him a path to follow. That's kind of cool. It gave us a little overview. It's just loading a whole new map, I guess. After a few weeks of travel, Mataran's marble minarets and sandstone domes finally appear out of the shimmering desert. Once the jewel of the empire, it is now a city of crumbling ruins and forgotten glory. The rivers that fed it dry, its once fertile fields now barren, rock and endless. Drifting sand. The Great War devastated Mataran. Almost a quarter of its citizens died in the arcane blast that created the infamous Abyss. The sickness that followed it nearly succeeded wiping out the rest. But cities rarely die with dignity. Man returned to Mataran, scavengers seeking to loot the treasures of the past, oblivious to the weight of the history around them as they squabbled over food and gold. Okay, we're here. Hold on, I'm gonna scroll out, just to make sure we're not. Okay, cool. So if you notice it looks like it frees up, that's me having to check on it. Unfortunately, whoop. Wait, are they smoking? Hold on, are they smoking cigarettes? I thought it was ancient Rome. Hold on, I thought it was oh, maybe I could be wrong. Hold on. I guess it is post-apocalyptic. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe it's like the whole world restarted, but the one thing they didn't lose was that. You hear the sounds of drums announcing the arrival of the caravan, and almost immediately crates, barrels, and sacks start flowing through the gates, followed by chained, dust-covered slaves and tired guards. Go take a look. I would have liked to have helped those guys at the gate, but I guess, fortunately, didn't get a chance. Once inside the gates, the new arrivals are dealt with surprising speed and efficiency. Slaves are taken to the auction block, paid for cargo delivered to the consignees. Guards paid and discharged to boost the local economy. All that's left are small-time traders hoping to sell their goods at a profit in a big city and vultures that prey on them. Levy collectors who take all they can and cutthroats who take everything, including their lives. One of these traders shakes his head and turns away from a levy collector to think over. Almost immediately, he's approached by two rough-looking men who whisper something in his ear. The trader, still in a state of shock, accepts the generous offer, much like a drowning man grasps at straws, and follows them to his doom. I'm going to say we're not a fighter, so not our problem. That's all I gotta say. I've got. Following random people without being really good at fighting is a good way to get probably killed. Oh, you know what? Guess what? Oh, what just happened? Okay, I was like, oh, did I go in the building? Guess we weren't wrong. Oh, did I just tell myself to run there? Hopefully not. Where are we? Where'd we go? Oh yeah, we're running over that way. That would have been bad. Arena Master. Oh man, that would have been cool to be in the arena, but I don't think we're gonna be able to do anything about that. Well, it's like the biggest building here. Where's some other stuff? Vitus? Okay, hold on. We want to go to Imperial Guard, right? That's where we want to go. Hold on. I think about it. Let's throw on a cloak just to look cool. I want to look cool and official. It's not quite the same, but... And does it actually slow us down? I don't think it does. Imperial Guards Fort. Okay, so we got some Imperial Guards over there. Some other stuff here. A bunch of people. He wanted us to go to somebody in here, so... My God, hold on. Let's go over... Oh, no, not to Clericus. We went inside here. Okay, hold on. Actually, hold on. Let's go to Clericus first. Because I feel like if I go to the fort, I'm going to not be able to get out. Let's go to Clericus. See what this guy does. I'm saying his name right? Yeah, Clericus, or... I guess. There we go. You're too late, says a standing man by an open stall. When you approach him, the caravan just left. It'll take weeks before a new one is ready to depart. Where do you send caravans? These days, mostly Ganazar and Kertor. Asmara and Kipper are gone. Terran's is about to join them. We need markets for our goods and the local goods to take back to cover the cost and turn some profit. There are a couple mining villages that can make a trip there worthwhile, but they're an exception rather than the norm. I mentioned villages. They pop up here and there. Like mushrooms after a rain, but most don't last. It's hard to make it out on your own out there. They think they can grow some crops because they did it so well behind their shacks in the city, but a few acres field in the middle of nowhere is a different game. First, it moves like water. First, it takes more water. For once, and water is fickle these days. One year you have enough to cover 3 fields. The next, barely enough for 1. Second, there are a lot of birds and animals to watch out for and guard your harvest against. Third, the rot. Once it starts to spread, you're as good as done. My uncle was a farmer, always talking about the rot. You mentioned Asmara and Kippur. The Imperial Guards took over Kippur 2 decades back and ran it into the ground. Asmara fell a few years ago. 2 lordlings tore it apart after their father's death. The way the story is told, the younger son gathered enough support and deposed his older brother, who managed to escape, hired every mercenary willing to fight for a cut of the action, and returned to claim the throne. The siege went on for years, and then by the time the town fell and the mercenary companies took what they were considered a fair share, there wasn't much left. Why didn't the Imperial Guards step in? The guards said that the charter doesn't allow them to interfere with internal affairs of the houses. But the way I see it, the weaker the houses, the stronger the guards. At any rate, I don't see them putting themselves on the line just to prop up some lordling. Okay, well, how about Ganazar? It's a lovely town. It's building cascading levels around the castle that gave the town its name. So the view alone is worth the trip. The archways of the low town become the walkways of the Skyport. It's quite a sight, my friend. There is nothing like that left anymore. The locals are getting too obsessed with the gods and worship, but maybe it's better than being obsessed with money and power, eh? I find it rather charming, to be honest. The Skyport, it's one of the districts. The stories say that flying ships used to dock there, and it doesn't have these strange platforms, but they could have been used for just about anything. If you ask me, of course, flying ships and chariots make for a better story, so who am I to argue? So, when they mean post-apocalyptic, I'm starting to think that based off that person in the back, by post-apocalyptic, they don't mean like Roman post-apocalyptic. They're meaning like modern, like kind of like Fallout New Vegas apocalyptic. I'm starting to think that I'm piecing that together. I could be wrong, but that's a guess. What can you tell me about Kiator? You've seen the military fort. You've seen them. You've seen one military fort. You've seen them all. This one's just much bigger than all the others combined, but they keep it simple. Rows of barracks, granary, cookhouse, hospital, and praetor. The entire splendor is surrounded by walls to keep the guards from running away in the middle of the night, no doubt. Okay, so he basically gave us lore. Oh, tavern. Let's go to the tavern. Oh, there's just like one guy there. Basil. What can I do for you? Asked Basilius, the proprietor of this establishment, a brown, balding man with a round face, bags under his eye. Okay, nothing. I guess that's like maybe for another quest we got going on. I wonder if I can open this door. Or am I going to get attacked? Hold on, before I do anything, I want to go ahead and see if I can adjust my skills, because it looked like it said I got skills in the bottom. So let's, hold on, which one was my skills again? Uh-oh. Press F1, I guess that's tutorial. Okay, hold on. How do I look at my skills again? Hold on, it's this thing, right? Nope, that's armor. Ah, there we go, skills. Okay, so we want more talking, because talking is how we get through everything. So I'm gonna go with persuasion, streetwise, persuasion. Now we could get a little more combat too. I don't know. It's a hard one. I think maybe you do this. And we do have some combat skill points to spend too, right? So specific combat things. So I'm wondering. Oh, Kingmaker. We got actually a little thing called Kingmaker and Centurion. That's kind of cool. You broke an alliance between House Dorton and Imperial Guards, convincing. Okay, so it actually tells us a little bit. It kind of gives us a little bit of a history based off of the titles we got from it. I might increase blocking just a little bit. So I'm gonna do crossbow one more time and block. It might be a waste to like do block and dodge. But you know what? I don't know that much about this, and I hopefully I'll never have to fight. I know there's an arena guy there. Hold on, maybe you just let me bet. You let me bet? Okay, the arena master looks at you appraisingly and gives you the most convincing fake smile you've ever seen, beckoning you to come closer. Judging by the number of rings on his fingers, business is good. Look what crawled out of some hole and made its way to our glorious city, or what's left of it, seeking your fortune in the big city, I take it. Well, how about a job in the entertainment industry? What kind of entertainment? The arena master grins, the best kind. Fight in the arena and amuse the crowd and make a name for yourselves. Everything your victims have is yours. What do you say? Maybe later. I feel like we'll just die if we go in there, because we are just not a combatant. Oh, Jordan, you got a little. Hold on, what does that say? A little poster. See the world, meet interesting people, and kill. Fun little poster, I guess. So let's go in here. Or actually, hold on. Was there a person out here? Vitus. Talk to Vitus. What do you need? And okay, the quartermaster. So that's not a thing for us. You need to talk to Legatus Pavola. There we go. You know, do we have that much ammunition left? We have 6 shots, so we do really need to start getting. An observant person could deduce much about Legatus Pavola by his rank and posting. Mataran is the last place where troubles are expected, which means that Legatus abilities weren't needed elsewhere, which means they weren't needed at all. At the same time, it's an important post, which could only be given to a reliable officer accustomed to carrying out orders quickly and efficiently, without ever questioning them. Finally, both the rank and posting suggested that Pavola was a performance-oriented officer who knew how to keep his superiors happy, an often overlooked trait, but vital for one's advancement. Carinus, says Legatus Pavola instead of greeting you. That son of a gun never got along with anyone. They thought they got rid of him when he sent him to Terran. He sure showed them. And now what? Galus looks at me as if I'm his enemy. Now I have to be. Now it's him or me. Carinus. They should have just spared us the headache and sent that son of a gun back to the wasteland. Oh, well, he did succeed, or what headache? Let's say headache. What do you mention? Okay. Yeah, let's say what headache. How do you think Galus reacted to the news? We are guests in his cities. In his city. I had 25 hard years in the wasteland to earn this post. I wanted peace and quiet. And what better place to enjoy it than Mataran, the city of all cities. Lucky for me, Carinus had other plans. So now I have to look over my shoulder and wonder what Galus is up to, especially after I let Stravis talk me into getting involved in his plot. Wait, you just got yourself onto a plot? What happened? Hold on. Pavola sighs. Stravis, the head of the merchants, came to me and asked me to back him up. The way he presented it to me, it was a done deal. Galus would be gone. Serenus, his nephew, would take his place, and the rest of us would be back to peace and quiet. Guess what? The boatmen got involved, and a lot of people, including Serenus and other conspirators, ended up dead. Except for Strabos, which is where you come in. What do I have to do with her? What do I have to do with that? Strabos is upset. Rightfully so. I might add he's begging me to protect him. I wouldn't even speak of it. But he's offering a trade. His life for what he claims to be vital information. I don't want my men seen around a traitor who conspired to kill Lord Galus. But you're new to the city. Nobody knows you. What do I have to do, Legatus? Spend an evening with him. Listen to him. Kill anyone who might look threatening and get the info. One evening, that's the deal I made with Strabos. They kill him tomorrow, not my problem. Tonight, he's safe because one of my finest is looking after him. So he says, slapping you on the shoulder. Consider it done. Yeah, one of your finest. An absolute guy who doesn't know how to use a weapon. Vitus, you're gonna give me some stuff, right? No. Is there a blacksmith? Is there a blacksmith anywhere here? Please tell me there's a blacksmith somewhere to buy weapons. Hold on, I can look at a map, right? Is there a map? Do I have a map? Oh no, don't go to them. They do not like you. Let's go back over here. Because we do not have ammo. Let's load it, just so we're gonna keep our weapon loaded. Oh, we need to leave the fort first. Kind of obvious, I guess. So I guess we missed some side quests, but that's, probably won't be game changing. Sit this way. Uh-oh, did I just walk into the wrong place? A storyteller. You see a grizzled old fellow haggling with the innkeeper over a dish of scraps and a cup of watered wine. When they reach an agreement, the old man pulls a cup towards him for a long sip, savoring his drink. Reluctantly, pours the rest into a bowl of yesterday's rice. He works the wine into the rice along with half an onion, comprises his meal, and after finishing, he lets his gaze linger a moment on the empty bowl before turning with a dispirited sigh to address the common room. A tale, he says in a hoarse voice, before pausing to cough explosively. Hearken! I'm not going to do the voice. Hearken, hearken, everyone, it's a most wondrous tale. A tale I offer exclusively to the most distinguished patrons of the most illustrious establishment. Stay and listen, sure. Go ahead. Look around you, my friends, demands the old man. The patrons comply, obviously suspecting it's part of some feeble jest. No, not at all. These four walls, you dolts. Look and wonder the glorious city of Mataran. Countless cities and towns, hamlets have crumbled to dust, or been submerged beneath the waves, or swallowed by desert sands. But Mataran survives. For 10,000 years, the mighty capital has stood, and for 10,000 years, he would continue to stand watching over. I heard the city was 1,000 years old. Interrupts the surly-looking metalworker in the crowd. And where did you hear that, pray tell? The storyteller seems to grow in stature. looking down at the man with disdain. I was born here as my father and my father's father and his father before him. So which of us knows best, my gritty friend? Now set aside for a while the cackling of geese in the market, which is often mistaken for wisdom, and you'll learn something of the city of all cities we are so fortunate to call home. I guess this is lore, I guess? It might just be lore. Well, we'll continue with it. Maturin was old and wise, already a place of philosophers and statesmen when the empire was nothing but an upstart kingdom. Yes, they were brawlers, full of strength and bluster. Let us give violence its due, but what would have been their end without our art, our knowledge, our wisdom? The empire had their legions, my esteemed comrades. But there is a limit to what can be accomplished through brutality. Add culture and knowledge to your strength, and you have a potent force. The old empire has fallen to dust, a heap of cracked stones where once stood mighty walls. Of ancient alien nothing remains but faded diagrams on a handful of mildewed scrolls. Maturin alone stands, her glory scornful of the passing of mere men, of time and decay. Her nobles and lords unfazed by... I come inside to get away from the wind, not to bathe in it, a dusty scribe declares. You get to the tail before you crumble away on yourself, another patron hopefully adds. Okay, I'm getting to the tail, says the old-timer. He smiles, but all his eyes are tight with anger. I know that such learned folks as yourselves must all have heard of the dismal and storied ruin, that place of terror and woe, commonly named the Abyss. Well, there are rumors, there are tales, and there is truth. I will wager a meal that no one here has heard the truth. And you know the truth? Asked the scribe with a smirk. I certainly do, the storyteller snaps. Is he just conning these people out of meals? Okay. For an instant, unable to conceal... sorry, hold on. The storyteller snaps. For an instant, unable to conceal the weary and bitter man he has become. I happened in my travels upon a lore master, walking alone at the edge of the desert. His apprentice had died on the road the week before, and, worse luck, his mule soon after. The lore master himself was clinging to life by the barest thread. I shared my water with him, the only wealth I had to offer, for I am, as you see, a humble man, and in his gratitude, he gifted me his finest scroll, a first-hand account of that poison zone which history has named the Abyss. This was 10 years ago, and that scroll itself has lost its hold on, it's just in the sound a little bit. I lost my place. There we go. By scroll, a first-hand account of a poison zone which history has named the Abyss. That's 10 years ago, and the scroll itself is now lost. But luckily for you, my friends, I've committed an entire vault to the vault of my mind. He taps his finger, meaning I did that instinctively. And then he did. I was like, I'm on the same wavelength. I'm on the same wavelength of this guy. Meaningfully to one temple. Still, 10 years is 10 years, and a few of the details may be mixed up, but I promised it is worth your time, and a coin or two besides. It's during the final days of the Great War, he begins, the drama running close to the ridiculous. When Earth and Sky both were riven by terrible weapons, when catastrophe chased disaster, entire cities vanished overnight, tens of thousands extinguished like candle flames, swamped by the sea. Yet Maturin was impregnable, for no army could breach her mantle of magic. Any who approached were destroyed without mercy, like ants treading a bed of hot coals. But her enemies were as clever as they were relentless. One night the city's magi tracked several new stars in the night sky, stars which moved but did not burn out and disappeared as their more common brothers. They declared this dark omen and commanded the minarets and spires to cast their nets just as the cursed beacons began to fall into the city. They were too late, however. One star escaped those nets to land in the venerable district of wisdom. That was the time when sun dawned in the darkest night, and the thunder that rose made the gods themselves tremble. With the real sun rose in the east, All could see that the District of Wisdom was no more. What is left was what we call the Abyss. Continue. But that is not the end of my story. With that cruel dawn, a strange, misshapen man appeared at the gates. He was haggard and wan, and stumbled as though wounded. Yet raw power crackled the air around him. He gestured the steel gates 12 feet high, crumbled as if no more than a piece. When he gestured, the steel gates 12 feet high crumbled as if no more than paper in his closed fist. The guards who rushed to meet him bent like reeds in a gale, but from the winds that bowed them, they would never spring back. In an instant, the city was doomed, and this creature wasn't a man at all, but a demon conjured in unspeakable rituals of our enemies. There was, however, one who dared to oppose him, Abu Hasad ibn Haddad al-Sarabi. I hope I'm saying that right. If not, I am sorry. First of the Magi. It's either Sarabi or Sarabi. Not sure. Though the lords of the city all knew him to be doing their good work 1,000 miles from Mataran. He somehow knew in their direst need to stand calmly and wait. He had somehow appeared in their direst need to stand calmly, waiting in their path. The twisted creature sneered at the world's greatest magus, using the familiar form of greeting and insult to such a powerful man, and asked if it still thirsted for knowledge man wasn't meant to know. Calmly, the magus replied that his thirst had been quenched a long time ago, and his power, and that of his seals, had grown stronger since their last meeting, as the state of the demon's forlorn and raggedy host did attest. The demon had no witty reply to this, but reared up as if to strike him down. To the astonishment of everyone present, including the demon himself, his own limbs refused to obey him. His ribs cracked inward with a sound like twigs breaking. His legs buckled beneath him, and his eyes turned white, leaving him blind. Sealed with his ruined human form, within his ruined human form, he was unable to do anything but growl and curse. What did they do with the demon? Inquired the scribe softly. Sometime during the story, the patron's taunts and grumbling had faded away. Everyone had sat at the edge of the chair, fists clenched, wine forgotten. The detail of the scroll did not reveal, says the old man, but I would venture that the demon was locked away for eternity in the most impregnable sort of prison or vault. I mean, what else would you do with such a being? Okay, so did the scroll mention the name of the demon? What were the Magi working on before they attacked the city? And the Abyss used to be called the District of Wisdom? We were to ask, what did the scroll mention was the name? I didn't mention the name. It did, says the storytellers. He is befuddled for a moment, since you're clearly the first person to ask him that. It was Balzarab? It was the evil sound, like vinegar on the tongue. Okay, so what were the Magi working on before they attacked the city? The scroll didn't say. All I can tell you is the grandest and tallest building in the city was the House of the Magi, 12 golden towers and silver arches hovering over the city. It is written that the highest pinnacle pierced the clouds, and the lowest catacomb dug deep under the earth, anchoring the tower in place. Can you see now what was lost? He's practically pleading for understanding. When will we ever rebuild such splendor? How? Whoop. I'm just making sure everything's still working. Okay, the Abyss used to be called the District of Wisdom. That is correct. He nods. It was the heart of Mataran, a place of temples, libraries, and schools. Granted, all I saw was an old drawing, but the image left me speechless and filled my heart with sorrow. Lore masters say the answer to any question could be found in the District of Wisdom, if one knew where to look and whom to ask. Men would come from all over the lands to seek our wisdom. Now the only thing they okay. So what is the last? What it was? So what it is? Bleh. So it was like a vast library. Not inaccurate, he replies pompously, but it was almost more than that. The ancients mined knowledge the way we call it mined ore. The cities boasted the best magi, algebraists, topology, alchemists, engineers, and astronomers. Mataran had all of them in one place. They walked these streets, breathed the same air, and gazed upon the stars. It was a time of wonder. What about the gods? The old wives' tale, says the man dismissively. Men of wisdom won the war, not gods. Let these gods strike me down if I lie. It would have been funny if he actually did get shot or something. Oh, Cadmos. You see a drunken man yelling at the patrons, waving around his spear. Accustomed to his outbursts, the patrons seem to be ignoring him. You couldn't help but notice it's a gosh darn good spear. Steel custom made. Nice spear. Nice spear, huh? This spear made me champion of the arena back when the title meant something. He shoves the spear in your face, presumably for a closer look. Just ignore him, says one of the patrons. Cadmos is always like that when he starts drinking. Was he really champion? Hard to believe, eh? Says the patron. You should have seen him 10 years ago when he was in his prime. Now he's a pale shadow of what he once was. Dude, being harsh, man! Well, way to ruin his confidence. He's standing right there. I'm not going to provoke Cadmus. What the... Okay. Door. Innkeeper. What can I get you, stranger? I need a room. It's our busy season. Okay. But I'm sure I can find something fitting to you. If you have 200 Imperials to spare. Trading, do you take me for a fool? I won't pay more than 100 coins. I won't give room in my inn. Either paying what I'm asking or stop wasting my time. I don't even know if I need a room. Like, why would I even need a room? What would I even get from being in a room? Oh, I can steal from patrons. Door is barred? What's going on here? Do I get health back or something? I mean, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, you guys aren't, like, wanting to interact with me, so I guess you guys are meaningless. Okay, anyone I can interact with? Tell me. Oh, we missed this guy! Oh, yeah, for a second I thought his name was Kenobi, but it's Kim Nibby. Kim Nibby. Okay, where are we? Are we moving? Oh, the door closed on us, I guess. Oh, no, we're still out here. Come and talk to him. What do you want? The man in front of you is in his 50s, his face deeply lined and weathered, suggesting that its owner spends most of his time outside, probably in the wasteland. I was just curious of what line of work you were in. The kind I don't talk with people I don't know, says the man, turning away. Okay. Friendly fellow! Definitely! Hold on. Grab a Bite Tavern. A house. A run-down house. A dwelling. Is there not a blacksmith in town? Because I do need arrows bad. And if I'm having to rely on... Hold on. If I'm having to rely on just what I have, that's going to be a problem. Where do we go? The quartermaster didn't want to give us anything. Where's the guy? Where is the guy? House. Trade district. Oh, there's different districts. Let's go to the trade district. You enter the trade district, the glittering heart of Mataran. Mataran's economy. A stream of merchants and their goods flow through the arteries of this district. And the tide ebbing and flowing, but never ceasing. Towering over the district is the golden dome of the Commercium headquarters. Once a temple to the old gods, now a place of worship for the only god the Commercium truly believes in. Money. That's actually that's a clever little... Pay, says one of the traders. Okay. Heading out and cursing loudly. Pay to reach the city. Pay to enter the city. Pay for the privilege to sell my own wares. Where does it stop? Oh, okay. Why do you come here then? As much as I hate to admit it, but it is the only real market. Nothing else comes close. So you either starve of selling your wares to a few villages and outposts that are still around, or you pay through the nose to take your wares to Mataran. What's the other choices there? Aren't you with the Commercium, or who's running the Commercium? Okay, aren't you with the Commercium? I work for myself. That's why I went into the trading business. It's not easy for what... Okay, hold on. It's not easy, and you have to stay out of smaller towns. But Mataran is big enough to handle all the trading it does now, and then some. Of course, we have to rent stalls from the Commercium and pay a hefty cut at the end of the day. But I like what I said. What other choice is there? Why do you stay out of small towns? Let's see that. Small towns can only handle so much business, so if you bring your wares there, you'll be taking business from the Commercium, and they won't like it one bit. Of course, you could sell them directly, but it won't even cover the trip. So like I said, you either go to Mataran or service villages and outposts. They can't afford much, but if you pay them with produce and ore, you'll need to sell it, and brings us back to Mataran. How about Ganazar? I tend to stay away from it. The market is smaller, and so you sell less at a lower price, but you pay the same levies. Not to mention that ever since Meru started preaching, Ganazar is ruled by mobs of zealots, while the guards do nothing to rein them in. If you want my advice, stay far away from it too. Who's running the Commercium here? Let's see. Strabos, he's alright if you pay him on time and keep your word, of course. If you miss a payment or try to skip town, it's another story. But that's the nature of business. Okay, so we got him. Giving us some advice. Exotic Emporium trader. Looking for something special, curved swords, spiked pauldrons, that sort of thing? Look no further, and you, for your standing in one day will be known as the Exotic Emporium. Do you have anything special? Every item you see here is special, chosen with care and deliberation, says the trader, raising an eyebrow at the ignorance he just witnessed. Then again, some of my customers expect only the best and are willing to pay a hefty premium for the quality that can't be described as anything else other than exceptional. He pulled out a richly decorated axe and shoves it in your face, inviting you to admire the craftsmanship up close. It's the finest weapon ever created. You can spend the rest of your life looking for a finer axe, and you'll not find it. Yes, it's steel, but don't turn it away so quickly. It is the purest steel, tempered to perfection in the rarest of oils. It's a warrior's weapon made to wreak havoc with every swing of the blade. Try the axe. It's truly one of the... Oh, okay, hold on. He's not as... It's truly one of the finest axes you've ever held. Whomever made it definitely knew their way around a blade. The blade has both primary and secondary bevel. The primary bevel is established well up to the axe head to facilitate deep cuts, while the edge bevel is slightly blunter to prevent the edge from folding, chipping, or dulling quickly. Additional okay. How much? Regretfully, I can't accept less than 600. That's exactly how much I have. What else do you have? Looking for anything in particular? Do you have any armor schematics? If you're interested in Ordu helmets or Barbari or Numeri armors, I can sell you the schematics for 75 coins. It's a good deal, trust me. What else do you have? Browse the wares. Maybe he'll have arrows. Please have arrows. No. He has some neat stuff, though. Nothing I could use. All of it has nothing to do with us. Okay. A house. Key to open? Okay, that could be open, apparently. Again, I can't... Oh, no, I can't look at the map. Can I teleport with this? Come to think of it? Blacksmith. I can! Yeah, I forgot. I don't have to do all this walking around, talking to people. Talk to the blacksmith. Looking for anything in particular? Do you have any sharpening stones? Can you repair my armor? Or we just got this armor, so there's no way we need it repaired. I can, but yeah, nothing to repair. Can you repair my armor? Do you have any crafting schematics? Browse the wares. Let's think. Do you have any arrows, please? No? Or bolts? Barbed missile? Hold on. Regular missile. Barbed missile does more damage, right? Damage modifier? It's sharpened. This is sharpened. So if we sharpen that. Let's go ahead and buy this. Do we have 2 iron helmets? No, it's just, it goes in here. I got you. We have a net, which is a berserk potion. But your aim will suffer. We cannot afford that. So let's sell that. Neurostimulant. That we can use. Merchant robe we'll hold on to. Toga. You know, can we sell that? I mean, it might not even. It's not. I don't know if it's even worth to sell, but I'm gonna sell it anyway. 1 gold. Maybe not. Just so I have a shirt that's not a merchant shirt. No, I'll just sell the toga. Got a ruby ring. I'm gonna hold on to that stuff because I think some of the rings might actually be stuff for us. So let's buy 50 missiles, and let's sell the missiles we have. We can we not? Okay, so we traded. No, I cannot sell the missiles I have. So we have 50 shots. That should be more than enough. Okay, hold on. I need to make sure I have the right ammunition. Let's take that off. Unload. And let's actually, hold on. We need, do you have any browser wares? Does he have any other stones? Ah, yes he does. I think they're super cheap, right? Oh, no, they are not super cheap. They are not super cheap at all. They're expensive. Browse the wares. What, I mean, how much is it per? 62 gold per, my gosh. I guess it does boost your damage. For a bit, but we're not really that good at shooting in the first place. We could buy more arrows? Poor armor penetration. Well, I can't match the brutality of barbed arrows. Regular ammo is non-discriminating and will leave a mark everywhere. Wait, what are these? Regular missiles. Oh, those are just better regular missiles. And these are like shred flesh. Damage modifier 1.2. Devastating critical damage. So they're if you want to do critical damage. I don't think that that's going to happen with us all that well. Crafting levels. Duration. Drag and drop effect on missiles. You know what, we're going to buy 1. I'm going to just go ahead and buy 1. I'll cave and see if 1's worth it. Hold on. 'Cause I think it does my entire... Oh, boy. It did 20 arrows. And I don't know if I even needed the arrows in my belt bag. I think I could just reload them however I wanted. Reload with iron sharpened. We'll do that. So we have some unsharpened and some sharpened. So hopefully that'll pay off. Otherwise, you know, it's, well, whatever we can do. What was the journal? What were we looking for? The bodyguard. You were assigned to protect Master Strabos, Guildmaster of the Commercium, in exchange for vital information. Find him in the trade district. What else do we have here? The Boatman of Styx. Let's talk to Roni. I don't know who those guys are. probably a good idea to find out. You stare at the exhausted young man, apparently just having trained out in the courtyard. He's dressed in Ordu armor despite not being of the Ordu. He looks up at you curiously. What do you want? I just came from Terran looking for the guildmaster. What's your name? Haita the Shepherd. I'm Roni. I've heard a lot of news from Terran lately. It seems like someone is stirring up things over there. Well, welcome to Mataran, I guess. If you're looking for Darista, she's inside. I can say she, or so what can you tell me about her? What can you tell me about her? What's there to tell? If you're looking for work, there's no one better for her to work for. Okay. Darista. Okay, so... Wait, are these guys... Wait, these guys are the assassins, aren't they? It's rumored that Darista, the Guildmaster Mataran's assassins. Oh, these are the assassins. Caught. Nowadays, she's her beauty is well hidden behind scars, several scars, a broken nose, and a mercenary tattoo in the neck, marks of various campaigns she fought in. Darista is one of the first female guildmasters, which is the first to make assassinations a preferred choice for solving disputes and conflicts. Or hold on, she isn't the first female guildmaster, but she is the first to make assassination a preferred choice of solving disputes and conflicts. As a result, business in Mataran's guild is booming, with the number of satisfied customers growing daily. Okay, what do you need? Nothing right now. Okay. I really don't see anything that I really need to focus on in here. I could go to the Palace District, but I'll go to the Commercium first. I mean, it is my job. And there's people doing stuff down here, but I have no clue what that is. Guard, Pavilion, second floor, and we got a bunch of Alchemy Trader. Oh, a bunch of different traders. General Trader. The Imperial Trader. Oh, do you have anything special? Special? Yes, of course, exclaims the trader. We're producing a Warren box. He pushes it towards you and opens it, revealing a well-oiled blue steel sword. It looks like a gladius, but slightly narrower, and the blade a narrower blade and a short triangular tip. Forged by Catalyst Asmara, the greatest swordsmaker who's ever lived. He was killed during the siege, but not before he slayed 20 men with this very sword. 20 men! Maybe even more. He'll probably many more. Forged in fire, tempered in blood, it's a special weapon indeed, my friend. Worthy of a great hero. It's not cheap, but I can't ask more than the sword is worth. To do so otherwise would be an insult to the Master Catalyst. May he rest in peace. Okay. The sword is well and easy to handle. Okay, but we're not really good at swords. 2,000 barrels? Yep. No, thank you. Capes trader? Could have different capes. Macius? He's got a name, so I'm interested in seeing what's his deal. Do you need anything? Oh, that's it. I mean, maybe that's a title. Armor trader, stall. I wonder why that says a stall and everything else wasn't. Okay. We're gonna just ignore some of this stuff. Go up to Pavilion. Oh, there's Strabos. What do you want? Asks Strabos with disdain. Who are you? Pavila sent me. What? Strabos explodes in rage. Ask for 20 men. I thought he would surround the building and wouldn't let. I can assure you that I'm as happy about it as you are. Trust me, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Streetwise and trading. I guess Pablo didn't take you seriously. Hard to blame him. You didn't give him much, did you? Oh, that could get me killed. Failure. I made a deal with Pavila, said Strabos angrily, and we aren't going to make it last minute. And we aren't going to make last minute changes to the terms. Uh-oh. What's going on? I can't believe Pavila gave me just one man. Well, if I die, the joke's on him. Trust me. What? Check your gear. Oh, we're in trouble. Game auto-saved. Wait. And the day is almost over. And when a man in his 50s walks into the guild, glancing around casually. Master Strabos, he says politely. Oh no, it's still Strabos moving away. It's Hazma. Hazma the assassin. Do something, Haita the shepherd. Kill him. Man looks at you without any emotions. Shall we get to it? This is like the most casual. He's just Well, I mean, I guess I'm here. I'm just, just walking up. Here to take out the guy. Thought the boatman would send more men. I thought Pavla would send more men. Not that I'm complaining. Not that I'm complaining. I prefer to work alone. Nobody gets in the way. Stand aside and let Hasma kill Strebos. Well, let's get to it then. Oh, no. Oh, we're gonna die. Our hit chance is 4. We take our helmet, it's still not going to be much better. Sadly. I hate to say it. Dodged. I think this is where it ends! Reload. Iron sharpened. Oh, I can't shoot again, yeah. Oh, he netted me. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. He's really coming at me. Oh, boy. When Hasma came alone, you thought it was going to be easy. You thought you'd be a lot worse. You thought you'd been through a lot worse and lived. How could one man be? Old man be? What was that? Now you're lying on the cold floor, feeling strangely detached as life leaves away from you. Stravos pleading stops mid-sentence when his body hits the floor. Finally, some peace and quiet. You close your eyes, then you open to see Hasma standing over you. His face is neutral. You make it quick, he says, waiting for a response. Hope truly dies. What if I make it? You try and say something, but you can't. You try to raise your arm, but you can't do that either. You're pretty sure you can't feel your legs, your mouth, yes, and hoping the Hasma can understand your eyes. You wait for the final mercy. My gosh! I don't know how we were going to get through that one other than letting him die. Which just would not, I don't know how, I guess we could, hold on. Last combat auto save. We can give it a shot. Oh, last combat auto save. We can try. Okay, wait, check your gear. So I guess this is going into Bronze Man territory. We're going from Iron Man to Bronze Man because we're pretty far in, at least I'd like to think. And I don't know if I want to go all the way back to the beginning to try a character that's more combat proficient. Just to make this, our percent chance to hit anybody. This wasn't just hit that he's good. Last combat, we literally had the same thing. It's because we don't have trading. For some reason, we don't have trading, and for some reason that, our streetwise just can't compensate for it. Let's just wait. Stand aside. Yep, everyone's gonna hate that. When it's done, Heisman wipes the blood off his dagger, puts it in the sheath, then looks at you. I guess see you around. It's time to pay my respects to Lord Galus. Okay. That one, I'm not really sure if there was anything I could have done as a talker. I really don't think there's anything I could have done there. I don't know. I'm not really sure what we could have really done. We're going to try to talk to Galus here for a second. So we're going to do Bronze Man, which basically means that we're not going to... If we die, we're just going to continue. We're just going to continue. We're not going to try to go back to the start. But we will not redo any choices unless the choice itself is why we died. So, in that case... We're not winning a 4% chance. And that would feel more like save scumming if we just kept doing it till we won. You get what I'm kind of going with? So just doing that over and over again would just be a waste of time. Can't really do that. So Bronze Man making the choice that you have to make to continue the game. But then if you forget, for example, how we forgot to help the people outside of the gate earlier, we don't load back to help that. We just do what we have to do just to continue the game. So we set the conditions. I do this with a lot of games. A lot of games, if we get pretty far in and we have something that happens where it kills the character, and we've been doing Iron Man early on, like kind of where we weren't trying to do anything, I oftentimes will go, for the sake of the experience, we'll have to do this. I went to talk to Lord Galus. I just want to see that place. Or I always want to see the palace. Or I want to talk to Lord Galus. Does Lord Galus want to talk to you? If I can't think of a reason, if you can't think of a reason, then the answer is no. Show him the map. Lord Galus expecting me. I bring him urgent news. He'll want to hear without delay. He goes, Gil, demands the Centurion. I'm fazed by your eagerness. I'm a soldier, not some guild rat. We can be. Okay, we really apparently don't like the guilds. One rat's as gray as another. Well, come on in, soldier. Go ahead. Okay. Let's go to here. You enter the main hall, and far to the end of it, Lord Galus holds court, receiving daily visitors in order of importance. A row of guards form a barrier between the lords of the house and the petitioners. The blank stares on their face. Another row forms a semicircle around Galus, their eyes constantly scanning around the crowd. Approach. Speak, commands Galus, beckoning you to step forward. I've uncovered a plot against you, my lord. Okay. Yeah, sure. A plot? I assume you wanted Stravo's dead. If not for me, he would have escaped your wrath. Or Hazma would have killed too. Still, you did me a service. Swear your allegiance to me and welcome and be welcomed into my ranks of those who have chosen to serve my house. Any past oaths will be dissolved. Oh, what? Any transgressions against my house will be forgiven, and consideration of services already rendered and faithful service we expected you from this day forward. I don't get a choice, apparently. Okay. Loyalty to decreased. Neil is predator. Okay. I don't know. We'll have to think about this one. I'm sure you've heard about what happened to Terran. The Imperial Guards have finally shown their true colors. They're a snake called... Okay, we're gonna... Okay. Let's think. You don't have to worry about it. I already found my army. I've made a deal with one of the Ordu tribes. You'll open your gate to the Ordu. You think you control them? Let's go with that. Why demonize the Ordu? They may be savages, but they aren't fools. They'll serve me in exchange, and they will be well rewarded with granted certain advantages. Thus, they fight. They won't fight for me, but to protect their new way of life. Has there ever been a better reason to fight and die for? If you know the Ordu, then you know that only a dire necessity would force them to accept my offer. This is a necessity that keeps them online, and once they realize that living in this city is the greatest, greatest city in the world is better than living in tents on the plains, they will be my most loyal soldiers. For nobody appreciates good things in life as someone who has started with nothing. I open your gates to Ordu. I've already opened them to the Imperial Guards. The true enemy is already within my walls. Now it's time to even the scales. At worst, the Ordu will keep the Imperial guards in check, while the guards will keep the Ordu from running amok in my city. At best, we can all dream, can we not? What do you want me to do? I want you to bring them here. The Ordu have been here a week, but they're stalling. Go to their encampment, find out what the problem is, and fix it. Do it for me, and you'll be rewarded. One more thing, Haita the Shepherd. The only way an Ordu's camp lies through Heron's Pass. The pass controlled by the Imperial Guards. If they suspect you're working for me, they'll throw you off the mountain. Needless to say, it's in your best interest they don't. What are they going to be doing when they see the approaching army? They will send for help and try to delay you until reinforcements get there. If you do, it's over. The Ordu won't stand a chance against a legion of veteran soldiers holding the high ground. So whatever you do it fast. Leave. Okay. A moment of your time, Master, says one of the guards. Lord Senna wishes to have a word before you leave. Was asked to escort to him. Sure. Let's talk to Senna's villa. Okay, go inside. Lord Senna had served 3 lords of the House Aurelian, a fact attesting to his ability to make himself indispensable, character of unwavering loyalty. While he was indeed a very capable administrator, which he explained the former, he was an extremely cautious man who had a tendency to label all risks unnecessary, which he explained the latter. Yet after more than 40 years of service, he became less and less satisfied with the role of a servant and thus more open to the idea of taking a risk. Greet him. Thank you for seeing me in such a short notice, says Senna. I won't waste your time and get straight to business. I know what Lord Galus asked you to do, and it troubles me. when we're talking about bringing an Ordu army to Mataran. Such a thing can't be planned in full secrecy. Too many people involved. I myself had a conversation with Lord Gallius about it a few weeks ago. I must admit that I failed to convince him of his folly. Now it's up to you. What do you want from me? I'm just a messenger. We both know that you're more than that, Master Haita the Shepherd. Lord Gallius has reason to trust in your abilities, otherwise he wouldn't have sent you. The task is too important for him to be trusted to just a messenger. As for what I want, I thought it would have been obvious. I want you to make sure that Ordu stay on the other side of her and pass. What do you think you can handle it? And what about Gallius? Lord Gallius will never know. The Ordu aren't the most reliable allies, so all you have to do is tell them they've changed their mind we're never serious about it to begin with. Why would I betray Gallius' trust? Do you want to sword Lord Gallius just to do merely what he's asked without questioning? Serving your lord means protecting his interests and preventing him from making mistakes. Behind his back if you have to. Lord Gallius has more men than Meru and Antidus combined. He has convinced himself that he needs more. He's a good statesman, but he doesn't understand. He's a good statesman, but he doesn't understand the Ordu. He thinks that they're like other people. Throw them a bone and they'll lick his hands and bark at his enemies. But they're savages who fear nothing but strength, who respect and fear nothing but strength. They won't bow to a statesman and do his bidding. But Lord Gallius is too blind to see it. Mark my words, it will not end well. I'll think about it. That's all I ask, says Cinna. Passing you a document. The bearer of this letter has acted under my order. Says that the bearer of this letter has acted under my orders and for good of the realm. Signed by Legatus Pavola. It's your ticket back. It won't help you get through the pass, but we'd rather not take any chances. But you should manage to slip through and do your duty. The letter will let you back into civilized society. What stops you from giving Pavola my name? This is not how such games are played, says Senna patronizingly. I serve the city first and foremost. Pavola serves Kator. We do have some common interests, but which makes the latter useful, but yet passing him this information will only embolden the guards and present them with an opportunity to do something foolish. Take the letter. Gotcha. Alright, so we'll leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. We'll have to continue another time. So we'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed streaming today. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. So have a good one. See you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.